All right, what's going on, everybody? This is the Fuzzy Bowls podcast. It is your host, Fran, here with my brother. What's up? Introduce yourself.
What's going on? It's Joe. How's everybody doing?
We are. It's the Australian recap here, man. We're a little late. It's been a week, but we have lives. We have things we do. So good tournament. Would you say?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
I didn't get to enjoy as much as I could.
Yeah, me
but
neither.
I tried to watch as much as I could as well.
It's tough when it's overnight like that for the most part.
I mean, that's how it is for people in Australia when it's the U.S. Open, so I guess we kind of feel their pain a little bit.
That's all right. We're going next year, so we won't have to worry about it.
Are we going? It's expensive, dude.
I know it's
expensive.
I know.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
So what you got to say about Mr. Murray?
Yeah, first things first here. We did our last podcast a couple of days before the Open started, and about an hour after we finished, the news hit about Andy Murray likely retiring this year. And I just wanted to talk about what a shame that is. This is a guy who went 0-4 in his first 4 major finals before he finally broke through and won the U.S. Open. A guy that broke a long streak of British men not winning Wimbledon, and he ended up with 2 of them. This is a guy who fought his way to the top in a world where you have probably the 3 best players of all time.
Not probably.
In their prime. And he fought his way into it and made it the big 4 instead of the big 3. He made them get even better than they already were by playing the way he did. He fought for everything he had, including both Wimbledon titles and his U.S. Open, both gold medals. I mean, just a great player and an absolute warrior, and by all accounts, an even better man than he was a player. I just wanted to say, I am sorry as a fan that this is happening the way it is to him, and I hope that it ends on his terms. I hope that he can come back and play with that same ferocity and that same fight that he's shown us throughout his career, and that he can end his career the way he wants and not like this. So I just wanted to start off and say thank you to Andy Murray for all the great tennis he's given us over the years.
Well, he just had hip surgery a few days ago.
Yeah.
So it looks like his match against Robbie Batts. Looks like that's his last match. And it was quite, I don't know if you caught any of the match. I didn't catch it live. It was like 4 a.m, I believe. They showed a shortened version of the match the next day on Tennis Channel, and boy, was it a freaking match, dude.
Yeah.
He was down 2-0, I believe. Mm-hmm. Won the 3rd and 4th set. I believe both were tiebreakers. And the 5th set, obviously you could tell that Murray just wasn't going to be able to pull it out. He fought his way through that match, and everyone wanted him to win that match. I don't think there was a person in that building that wanted Robbie Batts to win that match, except for probably his coach. And that was it. I don't think anyone else, maybe, besides his box, that was it.
If that is the end, and it would be unfortunate if it was, at the very least, he went down fighting, just like he always did. Whenever he played, he went down fighting. Whenever he lost, he went down fighting. Mm-hmm. So if that is the end, unfortunately, it's fitting, at least, that he went down the way he went down.
I mean, my guy, every point he was playing through pain. Not just in those 3rd and 4th sets. It's from the go. He's been saying, he did the press conference, early, right before the tournament started, and he was crying because what he's had to endure the past year, it's weighed on him. You can tell. It's a shame. You know me, Murray's my favorite ever. You know what I mean? And for him to even have 4 Grand Slam titles in this era, where 3? Is it 3? You're right. He doesn't have an Australian, does he?
No, he's 0-5 in the finals.
He played Djokovic a few times, I believe, and and he has now the record for Australian titles, right? With 7.
Yep.
For him to even, like you said, even get the titles he has in this era, where it's not probably statistically now, the 3 greatest players are playing in this era: Djokovic, Federer, and Nadal. Djokovic now has passed Sampras. with 15. And Djokovic is playing unbelievable tennis right now.
Yeah.
I've seen on social media people are even picking Djokovic to win the French, which I still think it's Nadal.
Yeah,
we saw Nadal get to the final here.
He was absolutely dismantled by Novak in the final. I watched that match, actually, and it was not good. And it's crazy because up until that point, I don't believe Rafa had lost a set.
No, he did not. No.
And for Novak to dismantle him the way he did in that final,
it just
shows how good he has been since he,
came back,
quote unquote, came back. But congratulations to Novak. Most Australians all time passes Sampras, breaks that tie. Good for him. He deserves it. And before it's all said and done, if he keeps playing this way for another few years, he'll probably be the greatest ever.
He will. Yeah. I don't.
But
yeah.
Hey, shout out to Osaka too. Not a lot of people follow up their first major ever
and win a second
one.
Win
the second one. It hasn't happened since I believe Capriati in 2001. So shout out to her. She played good tennis against good players.
Kvitova.
Yep, she beat Kvitova and I believe Pliskova in the semis.
Yes.
Really good tennis. And shout out to her. Congratulations.
Osaka's the next big superstar.
Yeah, it's looking that way. It sure is, and it's good that she won it the way she won it instead of it being marred by Serena with everything that happened and Serena calling the ref whatever.
And Naomi, she handled that so well at the U.S. Open.
Yeah,
because she could have, been way more upset. Then, inside she probably was upset, but at the same time, she handled that so professionally. And, for her, she was rewarded winning a second,
major in a row on her own terms. Speaking of that title, big ups to Petra Kvitova for making the comeback that she made after that vicious home attack.
Great story.
That probably could have ended her career.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, she was her home was invaded by a man with a knife, and he put the knife to her throat. She fought her way out of it, but the knife cut her racket hand very, very deep, and it really did some damage, some nerve damage and stuff, and it could have ended her career. And yet here she is fighting her way back to a major final, and hopefully we get to see more of her.
I think we will.
Great player, and a lot of people, by a lot of accounts, she's one of the nicest women on the tour. So it'll be good to see her keep succeeding. I hope we see that. 2
Wimbledon titles. Hopefully we see more. I mean, hey, the field's still open right now, man. I'm still a big Sloane fan. Osaka, definitely, I think people are really going to start paying attention now. She's the number 1 player in the world. I mean, I think going into the tournament, there were like 10 different girls that could have ended up being number 1 in the world. However, it would have played out. I don't think I had Osaka get into the semis or even the quarters, I think, in the tournament.
Yeah.
I didn't. I had...
She performed better than I would have thought.
Right? Yeah.
And not... I didn't expect her to fail because she's not talented.
Right.
It's just, it's so hard to go out there and win your first major and come back and do it again in the very next major.
Especially when you have Serena being the favorite.
Right. You have Serena, you have Simona Halep. You've got all these good, talented players that are trying, to win it as well.
To win multiple majors.
So, good for her. Good for her. And good for Petra as well.
Yeah, I mean, Petra she's such a great story. Seeing her emotional, multiple interviews, she was, got emotional. She was crying. I think she became a fan favorite for the most part.
Yeah.
Not that she wasn't in the past, but I think this is going to make her, it's just a great story. Just a great story. Her and I guess it was unfortunate that she had to play Osaka in the final because I texted you. I told you I wanted Osaka to win. I think you told me you had Petra, which surprised me.
I wanted Petra to win. Yeah, I wanted Petra. I actually thought Petra was going to win.
How good was the match, though? How good was the match?
It was a good match. It was a really good match.
3 sets?
Yeah, 3 hard-fought sets. So good for both women on that.
And Petra's, her record in third sets are usually really good, and she didn't pull it out, which shows how good Osaka is playing right now, man. She is playing really good tennis.
She absolutely is.
Yeah. So I gotta get this off right now.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you're gonna say. You're probably not gonna say anything. What's your thoughts on Kyrgios going down in the first round?
Look, I love the guy.
Yeah.
He's wildly entertaining.
Yes.
He's a lot of fun, and he's got a lot of talent.
Yeah,
But
he doesn't care.
like I said in the preview, I'm done expecting things from him.
Yeah.
It is.
Is
what
that
it
just
is.
karma for him to get Raonic the first round?
I don't know. Raonic
Because Raonic played really good tennis.
Really good tournament. He lost to Pui, who, by the way, big ups to him. He had a nice little run there too. His first major semi. So,
yeah, good for him.
But I don't know if it's karma or it's just it is what it is at this point.
I just
it is what it is.
I mean, look, I think even a really good Nick Kyrgios wasn't beating that Milos Raonic because Raonic's serve was on point. He was not missing a lot of first serves, and
did play really
Raonic
good
has a top 5 serve of all time. Could we say that?
I'd have to think about it, but he certainly has a top 5 serve in the game right now.
For sure.
But
You know what I mean? Though, like, look, Kyrgios made it a match at certain points, but I think there was a point in the match where he turned to a fan. He's like, "Where should I stand for this serve?" Like he didn't
he doesn't care.
Yeah, the best players though can at least try to figure that out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was one of
Yeah.
those matches where you weren't going to see a lot of really good rallies.
Right.
By the third set, I knew Kyrgios was losing. So I mean,
Yeah.
what do you do at this point? You know what I mean?
I don't know. You've got to find a way to get the fight back in him. This is a guy who I believe beat Rafa in the 4th round at Wimbledon. one year.
Yeah, when he was 18.
Yeah, he has wins over Federer, over Rafa, and over Novak.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, the kid is an unbelievable talent. You've just got to find a way to get the fight back. But it is what it is.
Talented player, like you're just gonna watch him knowing that you're not gonna, you get whatever you get, really.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what it is with Nick Kyrgios.
And how about on the other end of that? Why don't we talk about Tsitsipas for a little bit?
Great story.
Really,
Great.
really good story.
Probably one of the next stars in tennis. I guess young stars.
Yeah, I would say so.
I mean, he's since last year the Western and Southern. Was that what it was? Western and Southern? No, it was Toronto. Where he knocked out Anderson, knocked out a couple other top 10s. I forget who else, but ended up losing to Rafa in the final of that tournament. That's when he really started making some noise, and he's picked up speed since then. He won. I think he won a final in St. Petersburg, I believe. That was his first final on the tour. So he's picking up a lot of speed. He beat. How good was that match with Federer? That was probably one of the best matches of the tournament.
He played really well. He beat the 2-time defending champ. So good for him.
Very good for him.
And good for Robbie Batts and Tiafoe and Pui as well. There's 3, 4, 5 guys that played really good tennis.
Did you mention Francis?
Tiafoe, yeah.
Yeah.
It's his first major quarterfinal, which is huge for him. And he was, there's a lot of hype surrounding him coming up, and I'm hoping he can live up to it. Mm-hmm. And this is a good start. He unfortunately ran into the buzzsaw that was Rafa, but just a really good start.
Also, I want to apologize to you because you said look out for Rafa in the match, in the tournament, just because he was hurt. He's played hurt before, and I think I had Rafa losing in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
And he absolutely smoked every single person he
Everyone
played, except for Djokovic.
Novak. But Novak was unbelievable. He did not miss, I don't think. It was
Djokovic
incredible.
literally isn't. He looks like he's playing like he was 3 years ago.
When he's playing like that, he is unbeatable. It's just how it is.
Yeah, I thought I'll be honest. Shap, I thought was going to give him a better match.
Well, he took a set off him. And that's all you can hope for.
All right. Shout out to Shap.
Yeah.
Djokovic got rattled, but players get rattled. That's their problem, and Shap took advantage. I'll give him that.
Medvedev also took a set off of him.
Did he?
Mm-hmm, in the 4th round.
Are you sure? Well, of Djokovic?
Mm-hmm.
You might be right. But Shap, I thought he was going to give him a better match. I don't know if you watched any of the match. Shap, literally, I think in the 2nd or 3rd set, he just ended up trying to do a tweener for no reason. And it seemed like Shap was happier just to be there than to actually play him. I mean, I think in interviews prior to the match, he was saying, "Oh man, it's just like a dream come true. I want to play Djokovic at night. It'd be so awesome to play him on Laver at night." Like, dude, take the match seriously. He didn't come in with a game plan or anything. He was just out there serving. He was out there just, returning. Like I
The
didn't
thing
see
to
he had a
remember
game
with
plan.
him, the thing to remember with him is that he's so young.
Of course,
So you kind of have to
19. Yeah,
take that for what it is, you know.
Rafa was 19 when he won the French, but Boris Becker was 17 when he won.
Right, I get that, but that doesn't mean in this era that he's going to play every match against a big time name like Novak Djokovic as if he's, he's not necessarily ready. He can win a major with the talent that he has.
Yeah,
and he can do it now, but that doesn't mean he's going to. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you kind of have to take that for what it is. But I mean,
like you say, he's only 19.
He's a young kid.
Yeah,
I would have liked to see a better match. I think everybody would have. But hey, he did take a set off of him. Not even Rafa can say that in this tournament.
Yeah,
so,
Shap took one. Like you said, Medvedev did as well.
Yeah.
Who are some... Let's talk about some disappointments. My dark horse, Kyle Edmund, I had him get into the semis, loses in the first round.
Yeah.
I don't know who he played in the first round, but I don't think it really matters. He was a high seed. He lost.
Yeah. It was a little disappointing. Of course, you have Isner and you have Sock.
Jack Sock. I'm not worried about Jack Sock anymore. He's just been on the big decline. I don't.
Yeah, he'll be all right. I think he'll have a nice career. I don't know that he'll win a major, but he should have a decent career.
Mm-hmm. Our girl Juliana Ostapenko lost in the first round, but she lost to up and coming Greek player. What's her face? Ugh, I can't think of her name. I forgot. She played doubles with
Sakari.
Sakari. I like her. I like her a lot.
Yeah, she's a nice player.
But Ostapenko should have won that match.
The thing with her, and I've said this before, is just she goes for everything. She's so aggressive that you never know. When she's lights out, she's lights out. She's not missing. But when she's missing, then what?
It's over.
She doesn't. Over. Yeah, there's no backup plan there. She just plays.
Hey, she has the
balls
experience.
To the wall, so to speak, and it's just. And she did win a major because she was on
French.
Yeah, she couldn't be beat. But it is what it is, and she's a very talented player. But she just sometimes needs to learn maybe to not be so aggressive all the time.
Thoughts on Isner losing in the first round to a younger him, Bradley Opelka?
I don't want to talk about John Isner.
You don't want to talk about it? You don't want to talk about how he lost in a 4-set tiebreak?
I don't want to talk about John Isner. He drives me absolutely nuts.
Never going to win a major, is he?
No. Absolutely not.
Is Wimbledon his last shot here this year?
He's not. No.
Not even?
He doesn't even have a shot at Wimbledon. He's going to lose.
Hey, we were saying
all
next
those
couple
points
years
from that semifinal run that he should have won that match, by the way.
Against Anderson?
Yeah, absolutely. And
it is what
he
it is,
didn't.
dude.
So
I don't... Look, man.
Whatever.
Gisner, he stays losing to younger dudes. The younger... Basically, I wouldn't say a mini-me because he's not smaller than him, because Opelka's like 7 feet.
He's a big guy.
But Opelka's just going to be another Isner, probably won't win a major. Because he has a big serve, too.
Hopefully he...
That's another American.
Learns from him.
Yeah, hopefully. They beat him, so... Shout out to Opelka.
Yeah. How about Serena?
Serena. Interesting, because she was definitely the favorite going into the tournament. There were people that were kind of close, where critics were saying that maybe Halep's a favorite to win the tournament. Sloane Stephens is, Osaka, other players, even Kerber. But I think she was the biggest favorite, would you say? She was the undeniable, she was the favorite to win?
I think for the most part when she's in a tournament.
She's the favorite.
If she's not the favorite, she's certainly top 2 or 3.
Hey, she played really well up until the third set against Karolina Pliskova.
Second set, wasn't it?
It was third set. She won the first. She lost the first set, and she won the second set.
No, she had match points in the second, I thought. Let me see here. I think she had match points.
Well, it got to the third set. She lost the first set. I'm 100%. She lost the first set. She did not play well in the first set. 100%.
Serena?
Yeah. Against Pliskova, she lost the first set.
You're right.
I remember.
You're okay. You're right.
Because I remember I watched a little bit of it. My mom was like,
the match points were in the third. That's right.
Yeah.
It was 5-1 in the third, and she...
Foot folded.
foot faulted once and then lost 6 straight games. So
What was that, man?
I
mean,
don't know.
talk about tennis being a mental game. That explains it right there. You were about to win, and you let a foot fault get to you. Okay, was she playing hurt?
no,
She wasn't playing hurt, right? Because if she
No.
was really hurt, she would have brought out the trainer.
she said it after the match too. She's like, I twisted my ankle, but it was fine. I don't.
It's a mental
Not
thing.
blaming it on the ankle. She
Mhm.
said Pliskova went on a tear. I've never seen her play tennis like that. So
And Pliskova agreed.
yeah.
So
So there it is. It's a little disappointing.
I was gonna say, are
in
you
the
just-
sense that I would have loved to see her in Osaka play.
yeah,
again.
rematch. That would be
Um,
incredible.
But Pliskova
Shout out to
had a
Pliskova, though.
nice match with Osaka. She played good in that semi, and good for her. It was
Right.
a heck of a run by her.
Yeah,
It's nice to see her playing good tennis. So
yeah.
hopefully that continues. What about Danielle Collins? She had never
She-
won a major match before. Did you know that?
And she won 4, I think. Won 4 or 5.
yeah, we got to the semis.
Yeah, and then she
5,
had, and she got a little bitchy in the semis.
Yeah, with the beeping.
Yeah, the
constant
beeping.
lets.
Just want to let this be known. This was the same chair ump that was the chair ump during the Serena and Osaka match in the U.S. Open. Something to keep in mind. This guy, maybe he should be suspended. Did anything happen to him after the Serena Osaka match? I don't think anything
No.
happened, right?
He was right.
He was right, exactly. But
Serena's coach
he's
came
got
out
problems,
and
though.
said,
He has problems.
We did that.
Yeah.
It's on me.
Yeah.
So
I don't like him, though. He's a little weird.
well, chair umps are.
Chair ump.
The thing with chair umps is they're a lot like referees and umpires in any sport, where the less you know about them, the better. That means they're good at their job.
Well, he wasn't that good at the job.
The only time their names ever come up is when there's controversy. So,
Kyrgios in the U.S. Open.
yeah, and just it's a shame for him because, especially in the Serena match, I don't really think that he did anything wrong. But, it is what it is.
Here, since we're short on time, there's a couple more points I definitely want to get to. Sasha Zverev loses in the round of 16. Again, shout out to Milos Raonic because he was playing great tennis throughout the tournament, but Zverev played absolutely terrible. He played a decent third set where he got to a tie break, and he had a couple mini breaks against Raonic, and he ended up losing the third set. But Zverev played absolutely awful. He let it get to his head, like he does every major. Thoughts?
Thoughts
sir.
on
Thoughts,
Sasha?
sir. Yeah.
It's hard to say. You don't want to see a young guy like that have that many problems in big matches. But he's been to one major quarterfinal?
That was French.
Yeah, and he's
Last
been
year.
and he got smoked by team, I think, too.
I think so. Yeah, he's been playing so many. He plays so many 5-set matches, and that takes a,
It takes its toll.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's physical or mental, but he's loaded with talent. He's been in the top 5 for what, a year and a half, 2 years now, a long time.
At least, yeah.
He clearly has the talent. He's won, thousands. The second
Multiple.
highest.
He's got the coach. He's got Yvonne Lendl, someone who shaped Andy Murray into the
helped
player that
Andy
he
Murray
was.
get his majors.
So what's the? It's on it. Obviously, it's him. Or at least we think.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's somewhere up in his head to me.
I think he'll eventually get it together, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. Especially with he got Fed, Nadal, Djokovic.
Yeah, I hope he gets it together. He's fun to watch. He's a good player.
Yeah.
But
The serve's gotten bigger. It's gotten better.
sometimes that happens to guys.
But again, Milos Raonic playing really good tennis, so I don't want to take anything away from Raonic
Right.
because he
Absolutely not.
played really good tennis throughout the tournament. Honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised if he got to the final.
I
But
thought he was going to beat Pui for sure.
Yeah.
And Pui, shout out to him. He played good tennis. And actually, shout out to his coach, too, Amelie Mauresmo, who he gave loads of credit to. And funny thing about Mauresmo, not only is she a couple-time major winner in her own right, she actually coached Andy Murray as well for a year or two there.
okay,
After him and Lendl split up.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to her for being a great coach. Obviously, but we gave her tons of credit, and shout out to him for making the run that he did. into the semis. Another guy that just happened to run into Novak at the wrong time, but still, it's nice to see that.
I mean, Djokovic played just like did anyone expect that in that final? Nadal and Djokovic. No one expected that. It was an ass whooping. It was everything we didn't think it was going to be. We thought it was going to be another classic match. I mean, after seeing that match, do you see another classic Rafa Djokovic match in the future? Probably not.
I don't know. I think you could, especially at Roland Garros. If Novak's playing this way, and Rafa's been the king of clay for how many years now? So
05.
You could see. I think you could definitely see some classics, or on grass as well. Mm-hmm. They both play really good grass tennis. I think
they had a classic. Yeah, what am I talking about? They had a classic Wimbledon match last year.
Yeah, in the semis.
Yeah, that was a really good match.
Definitely some time for them to still have some great matches.
Mm-hmm.
And neither one of them is particularly old. What's Rafa 32 and Novak's 31?
Yeah, I mean, in today's world, Fed's 37, 38.
Yeah,
he's still playing
they're
good
changing
tennis.
The game. So I mean, I think there's plenty of time. They could easily have some more classics.
All right, so let's wrap it up. Overall thoughts on the tournament? Where do we go from here? What do you think, Joe?
Well, we're gonna do the year in preview on our next one, so I don't want to say too much.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You got to keep an eye on Novak, man. He could
That's
easily
7 now.
go 4 for 4 this year. I still think Rafa wins the French, but we'll get there when we get
Same.
there. Osaka, good for her. See if she can keep that up. I mean, it'd be really impressive. Tsitsipas, Tiafoe, Robbie Batts, Pui. I hope those guys can build on the runs they had.
Didn't even really talk about Robbie Batts. He had a good tournament.
Right, he had a heck of a run as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then same thing with Kvitova and Pliskova and Collins. Collins, by the way, beat Gerges, Garcia, and Kerber, and stomped Kerber.
Really bad. No one expected that.
So let's see if
No
they
one
can build
expected
on
that.
it too.
Yeah.
Let's see if Sloane and Wozniacki can bounce back. Tough loss by Wozniacki to Sharapova, but we'll see, and we'll see what Maria's doing. This tournament, it was a good tournament for the beginning of the year.
I think we learned a lot too.
I think we did. And I'm excited for the rest of the year, 2019.
Yes, sir. All right, next week we got the week of the year preview, so look out for that. Let us know in the comments on YouTube, on iTunes, rate, subscribe, all that fun stuff. So this is Fuzzy Balls.